But I was like, you know what? Let's just look at it as it's all subjective. We do it all day, every day, all of us. Oh, she looked at me that way. No, she didn't. She was actually smiling at you. And you're like, no, she wasn't. She's such a bitch. I was like, no, she was smiling at you. So I wanted that to become the ebb and flow, the yin and yang of Cherry and Laura, where it's like you're seeing it differently than it actually happened, but you as the viewer get to choose. What is your truth? What do you think happened? And really and truly, the whole point of this series and doing that template was to say the truth lies in the middle.
But whenever I have people as accomplished as either of you, I actually love to go back to the beginning and ask, what was your first job in this business? The first time, you could call yourself an actor, or, Robin, I
I do.
assume you started off acting,
Hello?
but you do so many things. Maybe you were a PA at some point, and I don't know it.
Wait, you want to know like real jobs or
Well, what do
acting
you
jobs?
consider
Acting's not a real job.
acting?
Acting.
What do you consider like your break in this business?
So my first job, I was at a drum school. I played William Shakespeare.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that was my first one.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And you were still in school when you got that role?
Yeah, exactly. Much to the envy of my peers, they didn't speak to me when I went back because I was like, yes, I've done it. I've been to Hollywood. I know a little thing or two. No, it wasn't like that. It was actually it was lovely. Yeah, that was my first job.
Actually, I was going to say I'm surprised you went back.
I needed my degree after paying all that money. My parents were like, let's see the goods. So I definitely went back to get my bachelor's degree.
And Robin, for you?
Penelope Spheres. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, yes.
That was my first gig. Playing a 16-year-old runaway heroin addict hooker. Good times. That was good.
The
It was great.
trifecta, yeah.
It was great. And I think we made it for like $500,000.
Wow, this was a movie?
It was a movie in LA.
What was it called? I didn't know.
I don't remember. I do remember Hollywood Vice Squad. Don't ever download it. It's
Everyone's
so
on their
bad.
phone right
It's
now.
so bad. And I was like, yeah, this is my first gig. And then I was on a soap opera, and I thought I was so good, and I was horrible.
No, you weren't. I loved that soap opera. Please.
Anyway, yeah, first gigs, right?
Well, look how far you've all come with the girlfriend.
I know.
Yes. And I know this is adapted from Michelle Francis's 2017 novel. And Robin, I believe you originally came on board. I don't want to say just as a director, because directing is a hard job, but originally you weren't going to act in it. What changed your mind?
We were in that little window of you have to get it financed and shoot it between this date and this date. And I was like, oh, okay. The actresses that I wanted to play Laura were already working. The Julianne Moores of it all, and, just Tilda Swintons. I was like, come on. And the window was closing in. And the producers of Imaginarium, who brought the project to me, and then we got greenlit by Amazon, they just said, will you just play Laura?
Mm.
Because you know her so well now. We've been
Yeah.
talking about it for months. You know the character. You know where you want to take her. You know who you want for Daniel. I wanted Olivia Cook from the get-go. I was like, she'll never do it. She'll never do it. And she signed on within 2 seconds on a Zoom. She was like, yeah, totally fucking in. She was like, right, yeah. Laurie Davidson, yeah. Love it, love it. She talks like that. And then she can put on an English accent beautifully.
That is amazing. I mean, I do have to say, though, it's a great part. I mean, there wasn't any part of you that thought, like, I could do, well, I don't even want to say both. You did 3 jobs on this because you're also an EP.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of work, but it was so much fun. It really was. We had a blast. I had such an amazing crew. You're only as good as the team around you, as we all know. I had such a great team. And the pros, the kids, I would call them the kids, Laurie and Olivia. I was like, when are the kids coming to set? I need to talk to them. I need to talk to them. They were like sponges. it was so beautiful to watch as an actor director when you throw a little novella out to them and they just grab it and they're like, yes, I've processed it, I've digested it. And they give you something completely different in take two. And I go, good, because we got to move on. We don't have time to do a take three. So I would get two completely different takes from all of them. Waleed, it was such a great cast. And we were all really close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had laughed our asses off.
I love hearing that, especially when you're doing intense scenes. Sometimes those are the most fun sets.
And Robin like transition between those two, like you were saying, the hats of the director and the actor so seamlessly. I mean, it was. I remember that one of the first scenes we did, I was in a hospital bed, so it wasn't very. It was a very easy transition into work. I was just comatose and out, but in the waking moments, we'd be doing a scene, and I'd be like this emotional scene. Robin's like bawling her eyes out, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Robin Wright. She's like crying, and it's like we're having this amazing moment, and then the transition would come mid tears, like streaming down her face, just cut. And there's the director, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, okay, wow!" And like, for me, I'd like need like moments to recover. And I was barely doing anything. If I was literally doing nothing in the scene, but like, yeah, the way that Robin like juggled those hats and made it look so effortless was just
Guys, we didn't have time.
exactly.
Let's just call a spade a spade. We didn't have time to fuck around. We had no time. We had little money, less time than we needed, less days per episode. And it was just like, guys, we have to make an 8 million pound looking show
Yeah,
for
it
4 million.
Fantastic.
Okay? And they
Yeah.
did an amazing job.
Yeah. I'm really surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
And Laurie, what drew you to this role? I don't know if it was an audition process or just a meeting. I mean, I think the chemistry between all the characters is so important. I assume there was some kind of a chemistry test, but
Only with Robin actually, because I avoided a chemistry test. Okay, so my chemistry test, we met and we just like improvised loads. You just want and just riffed, and that continued throughout the whole process. I mean, we'd have a script, of course, but it was always up for grabs and trying to rework things to just keep it fresh and alive. You know, when the director is an actor, you know, it's not. It's always going to be alive and searching for how can we make this as like keeping like making the best version of it as possible. But yeah, so my initial meeting with Robin was a lot of that, and then we met in a cafe or a bar or something, and
We
you
met at
and-
that hotel.
yeah, in a hotel, and
Yeah.
and I think Americans are better at this than British people of like just going for it. And you went for it, and I was like, "Fuck, there's all these people around, but okay, we're gonna do an improv in a cafe. Gotta commit."
way.
Yeah, and you don't know this, but I found that so hard. But yeah,
Are
it
you
was.
serious?
Yeah, it was.
You didn't tell me the truth about that because you were so gung ho. I was
I
like,
wanted the
let's
job.
Just, let's just riff together.
Yeah.
As mom and son, because Laurie's so much like my real son.
really?
And when I read with the actors, and Laurie, you were the last one that came in to read, and I was like, "That's Hopper. That's my boy. It's my boy. It's the same feeling." And I said, "Let's just throw the script away." So we did the scene. It was on camera for the producers to see. And I said, let's just throw the script away and let's just improvise. And he was on it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who's this chick? Who's this girlfriend? He was like, oh, just you wait. Just you wait. You got really gnarly with it.
Yeah.
You did.
Really?
Oh, yeah, talking about her and how sexy she was. And I was like, TMI. TMI.
Oh, about my actor.
About Cherry.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay, well, this is going to work.
Was this wasn't in public, was it?
No, this
Okay,
was
because
in
you said
casting
cafe.
director's office.
Okay,
That's the second. That's the second.
second
That was
time.
the recall.
Okay.
That was
I
the
was
recall.
like they're having a row in public, and everyone's everyone's fascinated, and that's why actually I'm going to out myself because this show looks so fantastic. I mean, the sets are gorgeous, the costumes, everything. When I heard this was a screening for Film Independent, I did have a moment like, well, surely they had $8 million, and to hear you say that you were short on time and money is like really shocking to me because it looks fantastic.
I mean, welcome to the business.
Yeah.
I don't think that's new to anyone, but the industry has changed.
Mm-hmm.
It has. It's never going to be what I grew up in, what you grew up in. It's never going to be the same, sadly. So you're put in a corner because there's so much content, there's so much competition out there. Um, and trying to do a show like this that's dual perspectives, and it's what we all experience in life. It really is. And I was like, let's just base it in reality and leave the melodrama outside.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are 2 or 3 melodramatic moments in the show from these 2 alpha females. But I was like, you know what? Let's just look at it as it's all subjective. We do it all day, every day, all of us. Oh, she looked at me that way. No, she didn't. She was actually smiling at you. And you're like, no, she wasn't. She's such a bitch. I was like, no, she was smiling at you. So I wanted that to become the ebb and flow, the yin and yang of Cherry and Laura, where it's like you're seeing it differently than it actually happened, but you as the viewer get to choose what is your truth? What do you think happened? And really and truly, the whole point of this series and doing that template was to say the truth lies in the middle. Come on, guys. It always lies in the middle. It's a little bit that and a little bit that. So you can't really judge it, but you can feel the compassion for Cherry sometimes and the compassion for Laura. And that was the whole intention was, whose team are you on? You're going to flip-flop every episode.
Yes. Throughout the episode, actually,
Throughout the
sometimes,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, but I always felt bad for Laurie. You know, you're very good at playing someone torn between these 2 people that he loves, both of them very much. And I did actually wonder when you said you did scenes different ways, if you thought of these as 2 different characters when you shot them, because one is her perspective and one is Cherry's perspective, or did you see it as one cohesive character?
Well, within the realms of one person, I was obviously trying to stretch that as much as possible, because in the eyes of Laura, Daniel is one person. She's his little golden boy who she's gone on holidays with, who she's grown up with, who she's put all of her heart in after the death of her first child, and then that's who he's become under her gaze. And in Cherry, she sees him as someone completely different, as someone who is sexy and has a wild side to him and is kind of reckless and a bit fun. And so I knew that I wanted both of those things, those aspects of his character to be there. And I think it makes sense to me that they don't necessarily exist at the same time, because they're brought out by these 2 pillars, these 2 amazing women, and that's the real kind of tug of war that's going on with Daniel. It was really fun to play.
Yeah.
But it's also the conditioning that character has.
Mm-hmm.
He's conditioned by his mother, who's overly protective and possessive. He doesn't know any different. And then this girlfriend comes in to yank him away and dismantle my relationship with him and say, come be your own man, you pussy. What are you doing? You're going on a gap year with your mommy? You're kissing her on the lips? Like, what? And she's just trying to extricate him from the grip. And she just wants a better life. It's not criminal. She's from the other side of the tracks.
Yeah.
It's not her fault. She's like, God, isn't it great that I fell in love with a rich kid who's gorgeous and I'm in love with him?
Yeah.
And I want to marry him and he's got money. So is there fault in that? No. So we were trying to meld those reality-based moments so that people didn't say, oh, come on, that's not feasible, or that would never happen. You look at both these women and you go, I could see myself doing that.
Well, and they're so much alike at the end of the day, too, in so many ways.
In another world, they
Yeah.
would have been best friends. They're
Yep.
so much alike. They will give up at nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Stop at nothing for this one.
Right, which is probably why he
Understandable.
likes her.
Understandable.
Yeah, and they're so alike that they occupy the same space.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. We've all had that person where you're like, I don't like that person. They kind of remind me of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we do that? We hate the
Yes.
thing in other people that we are.
Yeah.
We just do. I think that's intrinsic, and
Yeah.
I think and maybe that's the lesson we all have to learn. Why do we hate that thing in the other person? Because it's you.
And yes, it's easier to judge them to
Yeah.
work on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's time to do the work.
You talked about how the business has changed, and I mean, I think that there have been like some good changes to some degree. The show was has two amazing, complicated women at the center, and I believe it was primarily directed, written, and produced by women.
Mm.
I mean, you've been directing for some time now. Do you find that's becoming the new normal, or it's more normalized?
For women
Yeah,
as directors? I mean,
and producers and
yeah,
behind the
of
scenes.
course. We've all seen this. It's not even a resurgence. It's just, it's
Yeah.
a beginning,
Mhm.
where they've started. But my feeling is, why don't we just get everybody around the globe? Male, female, dogs, goats, whatever, whoever wants to direct something that's worth sharing. This doesn't have so much to do with men and women. Um, it's the voices,
Hmm.
it's the visionaries, and whoever you are, like, bring it on. Let's all share in it and witness it. And I'm hoping that will be the resurgence in our business, that we just bring everybody together globally, make the story, share the story. That's what we do as filmmakers, right? And actors, we share story. And that's a beautiful gift for all of us, the receivers and the givers. And I just hope we get some of that back after COVID and the strike, and it's slowly coming
Mhm.
back.
I think so. I'm feeling more
Yeah,
hopeful than I have.
yeah, exactly. And I think if the cinemas could just reduce the price of tickets
And popcorn.
and popcorn and Coke and, oh, well, you're going to pay $50 because you got a lazy boy chair. I'm like, I don't want a lazy boy chair. I just want to watch the movie and get some popcorn for $20. Like, if we could do that collectively
Hmm.
and bring cinema back, where it's all of us in this room watching the same thing, there's nothing like it. It's different than being at home and watching Netflix with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or alone with your cat. you know, that's quantum physics, when we're all in the room together and we're all experiencing it together.
Hmm.
We're laughing and crying and shocked together. That's the whole point of cinema, I think.
Yeah.
And just a time when you can't take your phone out.
Thank you. Yes.
Like,
I know, right?
like people should pay for that.
Right.
That's what you're paying for, is to be without your phone for an hour, for 3 hours.
I challenge you, $50 to turn your phone off.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that.
I don't
back.
have it now, actually.
What?
I paid to be here so that I could leave my phone in the dressing room.
Before we go, Laura, you actually worked with a lot of great directors in your career. What is Robin like as a director? What do you think makes her stand out?
Well, for sure, I've never been directed by an actor before, which is
Really?
no, that was super unique, and you just know there's sometimes, and I've worked with some great directors, but there's definitely a thing where sometimes it can feel like some directors think that the acting is like wizardry, and I like to maintain that it is wizardry, but actually it's quite simple, and it requires sometimes quite often just simple direction, rather than it being sometimes quite scholarly. It can be, and what Robin gets, because she is like one of the best. She's a fantastic actor. She just gets it and can unlock something in such simplistic terms. And also, Robin understands the value of everyone on set and their ideas. She is, that I've experienced, the most collaborative director that I've ever worked with, and it just really respects the person, the opinions of everyone on that set, so that if you have an idea or something you want to try, you don't sit there and go, no, I'm not going to say, because that is a thing, there's a fear of, and I just felt from the get-go that if there was, you just wanted to tap into those sources of, I've got these actors around me, that you have good ideas, there's other actors, they're going to have good ideas, and a lot of people don't utilize that, and you're already paying them to be there. It's free. That's and that was an amazing experience. Yeah.
Well, the good news is all of the episodes of The Girlfriend are already streaming on Amazon, so you can all run home and see how it ends if you haven't seen it. I know.
I saw episode 1.
Yeah. Well, some people here had seen the whole thing, I think, but it was primarily got a lot of first timers. So go renew that Amazon Prime. And
Pay a little bit more money for the Prime.
Yeah. And thank you so much for being a great audience. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming out, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.